Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to another episode of News Dose, where I keep you up to date with everything happening in the gaming world, and we have a lot of new information on the PlayStation 5. This includes what developers believe the price to be, some of the struggles PlayStation has been battling heading into next generation, as well as PlayStation 5 may be in limited supply for the first year of its life. So we're going to go over all of that, and because the Xbox Series X is also launching this holiday as well, we're going to talk about what all this means for Xbox. So stay tuned for all of that, but first, let's go over some of the quick news, and then later on we'll talk about the PlayStation 5 as well as the Xbox Series X. Starting off though, we actually talked about this earlier in the week, and that the Crysis Twitter feed was teasing something for the first time since 2016. So obviously that did lead to a lot of speculation on what it could be. Could it be a new Crysis game, or maybe even a remaster? Well, those questions have now been answered, as it is now official that we will be getting a remaster of the legendary PC game from 2007, Crysis. But that's the thing. Crysis was a great game back in 2007, but it was also an incredibly demanding game for its time, and unless you had a pretty beefy computer, you were just out of luck on playing this game. I mean, Crysis was widely considered to be the best looking game from a technical standpoint back in 2007, and really you could argue it was the best looking game for years after that. Crytek did a phenomenal job with Crysis, and again, it was also a really fun game as well. Fast forward to 2020 though, and Crysis Remastered will be available on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, PC, and even the Nintendo Switch. Yeah, you heard that right, it will be available on the Nintendo Switch. So yeah, this time around, everybody will be able to enjoy Crysis and won't have to miss out. I'm absolutely stoked to see the Switch on that list, and it's going to get another good first-person shooter, but it really is cool to see this game available on every console. I mean, if you told me in 2007 that Crysis was going to show up on a Nintendo console, I would have never believed you, so this is a good timeline here. Either way though, we don't actually have an official release date just yet, but still, this is very exciting news. Now, we also got a few new release dates for some already announced games. Starting off, we have SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, and really that name is way too long, but it is set to release on June 23rd for the Switch, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and on PC. Honestly, I'm actually kind of excited to play this one. I never played the original, but I love 3D platformers, and when I look at the gameplay for this game, it actually looks really good, which kind of surprises me. I never would have thought that SpongeBob would have a good game, but I'd be happy to be wrong here. I mean, it did get a remaster, so obviously the developers have some confidence with this game, and fans must have enjoyed the original. Also, the remaster for Star Wars Episode 1 Racer has a release date for May 12th. Now, I actually did play this game on the Nintendo 64, and honestly, I'm shocked that this game is even being remade. I was probably like 8 years old when I played this game, and I don't have super fond memories of it or anything. I mean, it was an okay game, but I'm not sure I ever thought I'd want to play it again. But hey, there may be some people out there that loves this game, and I'm super happy for them if they do. Nonetheless, it is only launching on the Switch and the PlayStation 4 on May 12th. And they obviously have improved the controls over the Nintendo 64 version. I mean, that's not necessarily a hard thing to do, but they did improve the controls. It unfortunately doesn't have online play though, from my understanding, but if you do like Star Wars or the original game, you might want to go check this one out. Moving on, Xbox has announced a new Cyberpunk 2077 controller, and this thing looks amazing. Xbox does a great job with their controllers overall. Not only are they comfortable, but they have some incredible custom designs, so I really do have to applaud the Xbox team on this. I've had to stop myself on multiple occasions from trying to collect all of their controllers because really they are just designed so well. Now, they are also teasing a new announcement for April 20th, which looks to be a custom Cyberpunk 2077 Xbox One X console. We do have some leaked pictures, and I'm not 100% sure if these are real, but I'm going to give my opinion on this anyways. The Cyberpunk controller is completely worth it, and the reason I say that is because it will work with the Series X. The Series X does have backwards compatibility with the Xbox One controllers. However, the Xbox One X custom console, I don't know if that is really worth it, considering the Series X will be releasing like 2 months later, and you can play Cyberpunk on the Series X instead. It's already been confirmed to support smart delivery, so unless you're just a collector or something like that, I would say just save your money and get the Series X instead. It's just my opinion. And speaking of next generation consoles though, let's talk a little bit about the PlayStation 5 and what all that means for the Xbox Series X. But yes, Bloomberg posted a big article on the PlayStation 5 and some things that are happening over there within Sony. And there was a lot of information in this article. I would highly recommend you go read through that article, which will be in the description below. Really though, there is two things that people are focusing on. The first of which is the limited supply of the PlayStation 5 for its first fiscal year, which ends on March 21st in 2021. So let's just assume that the PlayStation 5 will launch in November. So for its first 4 months, Sony is looking to ship between 5 to 6 million consoles, which, I mean, that seems like a lot, but compared to the PlayStation 4, it sold 7.5 million for its first 4 months, so that would mean the PlayStation 5 will be much more limited than the PlayStation 4. And the thing about that was that the PlayStation 4 was selling out pretty quickly for quite a while, and the PlayStation 5 will be shipping even less. So yes, it will be more limited, so do keep in mind that the PlayStation 5 will be very hard to get for its first 4 months, if not longer than that. If you do want the PlayStation 5 though, the best thing that I could possibly tell you is to try as hard as you can to pre-order this thing as soon as it goes live, and just hope that the retailer gets you that console day one. And sadly, we will also likely be battling scalpers who are going to try and mark the price up even more. Now, as I said, we will talk about the Series X as well, and it would not be surprising if Microsoft has similar issues with the Series X. Now, there is no guarantee in that, but a lot of these issues are because of everything happening in the world right now, which is causing manufacturing problems worldwide. So it would not be surprising if the Series X also has similar issues with stock, so the same thing is in order with the Series X. Pre-order that thing as quickly as you can if you want the Series X day one. Now, however, we will talk about the price now, and this is a little bit more in favor with the Series X, and I'll explain why. Right now, developers believe that the PlayStation 5 will launch with a price tag of either $500 to maybe even $550. I don't think that's too surprising if you've been following my channel, because we have been covering this quite a bit, and we knew that Sony was struggling with the price for the PlayStation 5, and one of the linked causes was cooling, and now that we've seen the PlayStation 5 specs, we should understand why. We know that the parts for the PlayStation 5 cost at least $450, and that doesn't include other fees like manufacturing and retail costs, so it is very possible that the PlayStation 5 will launch with a $500 price tag. I don't believe that it will go beyond that, and based off of Sony's current strategy, they are taking a wait-and-see approach with what the Series X price tag will be. So it does seem like Sony is willing to take a hit on the price if they absolutely need to, but they are hesitant on taking a loss per unit. You have to understand Sony is a smaller company than Microsoft, and PlayStation is a big brand for Sony, so they aren't going to want to bleed money with the PlayStation 5, definitely considering that they sold the PlayStation 4 for a profit right out of the gate. However, if the PlayStation 5 is indeed $500 at launch, that could potentially be a really big win for Xbox. Now, we don't know what the Series X will be priced at either, but if hypothetically the Series X is also priced at $500, which that is being speculated on right now, that would be huge for Xbox because the Series X is a more powerful console. It has more raw power thanks to its superior graphics card. It's running a 12.1 sustained teraflops, while the PlayStation 5 is running a boosted 10.3, so that will go up and down, and maybe one of the reasons they've had issues with cooling, but I won't get into that too much. The Series X also has a superior processor. It's faster, has more compute units, which means it also has better ray tracing, which will be a big selling factor next generation. If you've seen the comparison of Minecraft with ray tracing on and off, it's just mind-blowing. So the Series X is more powerful, it's faster, and it has better ray tracing. Now, the PlayStation 5 has a faster solid-state drive, but that's pretty much it, and I don't believe that will make a huge difference. The Series X has a solid-state drive as well, and third-party developers will get better performance out of the raw power from the Series X. So if the PlayStation 5 and the Series X are both $500, that is a huge deal. And you also have to remember how big Microsoft actually is. If they want to sell the Series X at a loss, they can absolutely do that, because for them, market share may be more important than profits themselves. They also have things like Game Pass and PC games that can help make up the difference just a little bit, but of course this is all just hypothetical. The Series X may be even more expensive than that. I've said it on multiple occasions, but I would not be shocked if the Series X is north of $500 based off of its beastly specs. And we also have to remember that they also have Lockhart, which is supposed to be a more affordable console for next generation. But nothing would really surprise me right now, but it really is paramount that Sony gets the right competitive price for the PlayStation 5. With that said, the PlayStation 5 is still going to sell crazy well, and that's not the point. The point is about Xbox gaining market share and not just outselling the PlayStation 5. Anyways though, there is a few other tidbits from this article, including the struggles thanks to everything happening in the world right now, which has caused the PR team to have some issues with maybe finding a way to get their message across to fans with the PlayStation 5. I think much of the community has been critical with PlayStation over their silence with the PlayStation 5, but some of that really is linked to this worldwide issue happening right now, and I do think we should understand that. Now with that said, Sony has been incredibly silent for much longer than just 2020, so we can't completely put all the blame on the issues happening right now, but it is what it is. Anyways though, I'm really interested in hearing your thoughts as well, so let me know in the comments below on what you think the PlayStation 5's price tag will ultimately be, as well as the Series X. Also, are you going to pre-order the PlayStation 5 and the Series X, especially with this limited supply, and from what retailer? Let me know in the comments below. Anyways though, that's it for this episode, but if you liked the video, don't forget to bell notification and subscribe button for more content just like this. Peace out.